Hello everyone, welcome in the new show from OFCI with our amazing interns. And so today we are going to introduce you to Maria, Luigi, Ivana. Maria, could you explain us about your background, what you're studying, what you're doing at OFCI?
Of course, thank you Yuri and thank you people for coming to this live. As Yuri said, my name is Maria, I am from Spain, and my background, my studies are related with different stuffs, and I started and finished of course my degree in Semitic and Islamic studies, and I am here with my master's degree in Euro-Mediterranean relationships. Also, I have an association and it's related to Erasmus Plus stuff and blah blah blah, and because of that I wanted to come here in OFCI to improve all this knowledge and these things.
Thank you very much, Maria. Let's go with Luigi.
Yes, I'm Luigi and I'm 24. I'm studying international relations also in Belgium, but I'm originally Italian. I did my bachelor in Italy and then I decided to go for a master in Belgium. I did a couple of Erasmus, so I always like to be in an international environment, and that's why I choose OFCI, also to get to know more about international projects and Erasmus projects. And so I'm here as a final internship for my studies, and I'm gonna be here till June. So yes, that's it more or less.
Thank you, Luigi. Last but not least, Ivana from Croatia.
I'm Ivana, I'm also 24 as Luigi. I graduated in law in Croatia, and I did one Erasmus student exchange in Italy in my last year. And after it I decided that I still don't want to actually work in Croatian's law field, so I chose this internship because it seemed like an amazing opportunity to do something a bit different and more international. And a huge part of it was also French that I wanted to learn, that I was never studying before, and that I found it would be a great opportunity to come here and to study it.
Okay, before going to the next question, I would like to ask you, Ivana, how would you define your experience at OFCI in 3 words?
Oh, this is a tough one. So I would I would describe it as challenging, as unique, and as maybe I want to say well, diverse from other stuff that I normally did.
Luigi, 3 words?
Dynamic, I would say, because we do a lot of stuff, different stuff. Enriching, because we learn a lot. And mind-opening, because you meet a lot of other people from different countries, and that's cool.
We would actually do so much more if there was not
exactly.
COVID-19 restrictions and stuff like that. But thank you. Maria, 3 words?
I take also the words of my I will say other, but that is also of course.
Okay.
And for me, I think that is intercultural environment, also personal and professional development, and the third word. It's a flexible and for a comfortable job here, so.
Thank you. And Maria, I would like to ask you, what was your motivation to come here? Like, did you know French before and you wanted to improve the language, or you just like Roubaix?
As I told before, I create an association in Spain, and it's there we create project within the Erasmus Plus program, and that was my first motivation. But also I studied French for a lot of time, and when I was younger, and I didn't remember a lot, but I wanted to improve it. Also my English, of course, but my friends. And I think I wanted to came here because of that, and also because I like to work in international environment, and it's one of the words that which I describe this experience, and
Also because of the cheese.
also the cheese,
The cheese and the fries.
Important.
yes.
Luigi, your motivation?
Yes, I mean, for me, motivated the French language wasn't exactly the first reason, because I get to practice in Belgium. But yeah, I wanted to get to know more about Erasmus projects and yeah, international solidarity and yeah, all this kind of European project. Also because I've been a part of Erasmus projects in before, and I did Erasmus, as I said. So I wanted to contribute on the other side for the first time, let's say, and that's yeah, that was the main reason I decided to come to OFCI.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's quite the same for me, because I have a feeling that with all these Erasmus projects, student exchange that I've done, it's, I mean, I feel like it just enriched my life so much, and it's so nice for first time to be behind the other part of it and to actually organize something that's gonna be an opportunity for someone else to meet people, I don't know, fall in love, go travel, and it's
No road travel with the COVID.
Yeah,
no, we covered, but
probably
it's nice to be on the other side when you're the one who's giving the opportunity instead of the one who is receiving it, because at this point, with all the knowledge and with all the studies that I've done, I feel that I would be competent for someone else to offer him something. And in the same time, yeah, I never studied French or anything, but arriving here in like Lille or Roubaix, like smaller town in France, I think was the best decision to immerse myself completely in the society and in language. And I think that what I've done here within like 2 or 3 months, I think it would take me like at least 2 or 3 years in Croatia to learn the same level of French, because it's just way easier and faster here, and also way more interesting. So
Yeah, and during this live, unfortunately, it's in English language. But
I cannot
show off French during the rest of the day, I promise. And I wanted to say also that because of COVID-19, of course, we have much less projects. But I hope that in the future, in close future, in near future, that also trainees who have not been able to get involved in project will be able to get involved in project, even if it's outside of their traineeship period. And I mean, of course Maria, but I hope Luigi, Santa, who is behind the camera, and Ivana will be able also to do more than just office work. And you were talking about France and being immersed in the culture, in the society. What are the main cultural differences between that you've perceived between your country and France?
Well, I don't think it's cultural differences, but I think that I definitely had some shocks that, okay, like apart from cheeses and the huge cheese department in the supermarket, that's incredible. People, like, my mom would never believe me if I would, like, tell her how much there's different types of cheeses here. But apart from that, I had feeling that so many times I was just walking the road and I would see these French people casually walking with their baguette, and it seemed like a movie scene. If I was to tell someone like, oh, there's people walking with their baguettes in the hand in the street, it's so ridiculous. Or you see someone on a bike and like with a hat and a little baguette, and it's something that you think it's like complete stereotype. It's like, oh, they show this in movies, but it's like that in real life as well, and that I find super funny. It's really pretty to see it, because they're actually really living all those things that like from food and from culture-wise, it's really beautiful.
Luigi, I mean, you've been in France multiple times already, and you're living in Belgium, so kind of similar.
Yeah,
But
actually.
have you had this cultural shock on the first time? When
Probably
you
yes.
stayed?
But I have to say that the first time I came to Lille from Belgium, I didn't even realize I went to a different country because especially it's a bit similar to Belgium also architecturally, or like in when you work in Lille you could still feel in Belgium, and beers are as good as in Belgium, and food is kind of similar with fries and Welsh, but of course there are some differences, and I also have my Italian origins that plays in that. So it's also true that nowadays we don't have the opportunity to go and meet many other people, like to hang around in bars and stuff. So I managed to meet people just through my flatmates and through the office, and I would say they're quite open-minded, and there is big diversity of people also living in Lille or in Roubaix. That's super cool, I would say. And one last thing related to food. Other than cheese, you will find a lot of butter around. So if you're used to cook with olive oil, you might need to switch to butter.
Demisele.
Let me say, but by the way, that's good.
Thank you, Luigi. Maria, cultural shock? Yes, no, maybe?
No, I think I didn't perceive a lot of difference with my country, with Madrid. It's true that the Roubaix, where I have the house, is a small village, city, but I didn't perceive cultural difference. It's true that the lifestyle is different, but I can't say that it's or not similar or not, because with COVID we could go outside. We couldn't see the restaurant life, the bar lives. So it's very different. For example, was a shock for me. I don't know if it's related with the lifestyle or not, but for example, with COVID, I came from Spain, and there the measures are really strict, so you have to put the mask outside. And here, maybe it's because it's a small city, and it's not very common that in the street there are a lot of people, but people don't used to use the mask, and for me at the beginning was like, what happened here? But no, it's I think it's the situation also, and people is tired of that, and it's normal. But in cultural differences, of course, the food, I miss the food in the Spanish food, but
But it's not that bad here, probably just because we didn't have the chance to
Yes,
go
yes,
and
true.
try, unless when Yuri cooked for us, and it was super, you have to admit it.
yes, it's true, it's true.
Thank you.
It's true, but I think I would like to live the real life here without COVID, without the healthy measures and this stuff, because for me it's important, not important, but it's amazing to see how is the life of the people that live here, and now you can see
The cultural life,
yes,
there is no events.
yes, you can
There's
immerse
no nightlife.
yourself. Yes, you can't immerse yourself.
Yeah, you cannot really meet people so
Mm.
much, like the social life has been broken.
Mm.
How do you live these restrictions, like apart from not being immersed totally in the French culture, French society?
As
How do you live it? Yeah.
As I told at the beginning, was a shock that see people that without the mask in the street and that things. But of course I miss a lot the restaurants, because when I went to Lille or something like that, people that was before in Lille told me that Lille is very nice, it's a student city, so there are a lot of restaurants and a lot of students and all this studying students life. but I arrived and everything was closed. So it's difficult, and also the curfew is like now it's at 7, but before was at 6. So from 6 to the next day you should be at home, and was okay. It's winter, so the weather sometimes some days were like okay, today we can stay at home, but other days with the sun was like, no, I would like to be outside and I can't. So sometimes frustrating because of that, but I think if I had been here in summer with the restrictions and the measures, I think I would be worse than I would live this experience worse than now than.
Because you would feel
this
more
one.
the willing to go out when there is sun, when it's nice weather.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the same.
Luigi?
I agree a bit with what Maria said, but I have to say I was quite lucky to find a good place to stay, a good house with good flatmates. So we hang around together, and there are often friends coming home, and we have a nice garden where we can make barbecues and yeah, chill when it's sunny. But it's true that with the COVID measures, it's hard to go out and to meet people. So that's why I think it's important to find a good place to stay, and to build a bit your small and yeah, circle of friends and people that are the one that you're gonna see probably for more in the time you spend in Lille or in Roubaix. But I also hope that with the end of the measures, probably with the summer, it's gonna be a bit better, and there are many parks and places to discover. Also with the restriction, it's nice to walk or to bike. It's really bike friendly city. So I'm looking forward for that also.
Okay. And Ivana, you're here for a while in France. Do you have like a special story about the COVID-19?
Well, I have a special sad story that I arrived first weekend when the measurement started. So it was really unfortunate, and I think that was the week when the cases were so wild, and I remember also my parents being so concerned that I'm coming here. But in the same time, I really didn't want to allow COVID to like put my life on hold and just on a pause. So to maybe end it up in a more like brighter tone from frustrations, of course, that I as well felt. And I still think that we're not having it that bad. I mean, it would be nice to see city living. I would also love to travel a bit more because we're so close both to London, in Paris as well, Brussels, Amsterdam. It's everything like 2 hours with a train max. So that would be great, but in the same time, I have a feeling that if I stayed home for these months, that I would be having way more boring period of life than this one. Because me as well, I have like amazing roommates and apartment that I love. We had even a dog. Everything about, like, there's still new stuff happening, although they're probably not as dynamic as it would be if the bars and the nightlife was happening and if we got to see the student city. But in a lot of senses, it's still some new experiences that you're getting in this unfortunate time period that's super boring for majority of people, and that's super isolated and closed, and we still get to work together in the office. So I think I think we're not having it that bad. I think that it could be worse, and I think that if I had to look back in, I don't know, 10, 20 years, and it's like year was 2020 or 2021, most of the people is gonna be like, oh, we were closed in our fucking bedroom. We were self-isolating, and I don't know. I was in France. I met these amazing people. I worked in this organization. I don't know. I still have a feeling that I had a good time.
And yeah, you didn't waste your time.
Yeah.
No.
definitely.
And about this, would you have any recommendation for the new trainees coming out of FCI? I don't know, recommendation, suggestion, or things you want to tell them about they would not be aware of?
Yes,
Can
I
you start?
think yes, I can start. I think that the people who wanted to who came here have to be very motivated with this project. I mean, with the they have to have a lot of ideas in their minds, because you need to be creative, creative, and you have to do how I can say to
Yeah,
be
like proactive.
Proactive.
That's the CV
Yeah.
vocabulary.
yes, CV vocabulary, you know. But I didn't want it to say proactive because
We were
yes,
making
it's
jokes about it
CV,
before,
it's CV
Yeah.
words and blah blah.
You need to
blah.
have initiative.
I didn't want it to. I didn't want to be very
Official.
common. Yes, not official. Very common.
Banal.
Oh, come on, proactive
Yes.
is a nice word.
Yes, it's a
That's
nice
a
word,
lot.
but
It's
all
nice when
everyone.
you really are proactive.
everyone
you should just
uses
write
that
it on your
word.
CV.
I mean that people who came here have to be creative, because there are a lot of projects and in Erasmus Plus program, and you have to create new things and think in a different way to do all these things, and the methodologies that the program use more close to the young people, that every time is changing. And for example, now with COVID also, all the digital tools and the digital knowledge it's very important for that, and you have to
To keep up with
Yes.
the new.
updating all the time with all these things, and for example with application that maybe we don't use, or me don't use for a start, but new young people use it, so you have to know what are they using to be able to be close with young people. I don't know if I
Yeah.
could explain myself, but that creativity, motivation, and new ideas.
Yes, you were talking about methodology, but it's not. We are not elitists.
Ah, of
Everything
course, of
you
course.
don't need to come with anything that you knew before. You can learn everything here, and learn
Yeah.
from each other.
Yes,
Learn
and
by
wanting
learning by
to
doing.
learn. You have to want.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
what I
Take it.
wanted to say also is like it's true. You need to be motivated. You need to be creative, but I think here you always find something that you are able to do, and some way to contribute in projects and in the activities of the OFCI. So it's good also, as you said in one of your keywords, like to develop and to understand your strengths, and maybe also your weaknesses, and the point you need to work more. And it's good that with other people you get to help each other, and to learn also by you don't feel like you're learning because you're just exchanging, but you're actually are. So that's cool. And so I would say as an advice, like to come ready to learn new things, and to be open to new opportunities, and maybe you will learn something that you were not expecting to learn, and something that you were really wanted to experience or to learn. Maybe you understand it's boring and you find other ways. So let's be open, and let OFCI surprise you.
Ivana?
Yeah, I have a feeling that as well, personal involvement and motivation and just determination to do something is a major part that needs to really be addressed, because in the end it really depends. I mean, the office is here, the office supplies are here, the people who you're working are here, but at the end of the day, it really depends on you how much you're gonna take home or not. So if you don't feel that you want to receive some knowledge or that you don't want to work on something, you can get away with that. But if you feel motivated and if you want to get personally and professionally involved, I think that you can, as an outcome, have really great results and big knowledge.
Okay, thank you very much for this interview. And if you have any other question about Erasmus Plus Traineeship at OFCI, feel free to send us an email. You can go on our website, ofci.fr, in the contact page and send us a message. You can also send message on our social networks. It can be on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We try to get out of Facebook slowly, but feel free. You can also send us a message on Facebook. And we'll have a live tonight at 7 Paris time. It will be about the Islamic veil. It will be a debate in French with 3 young people who are interested by this topic. You will be able to get in touch with them and ask them some questions if you have. We'll try to go through the topic from A to Z about the Islamic veil in France and all the debate around this topic. And we hope you will like it. So see you tonight and see you another time. Ciao, ciao.
Keep posted. Ciao.
Ciao.